Hello, everybody. My name is Nicholas James Anston, and welcome to episode 3 of Cardwire. Yeah, episode 3 of Cardwire. This is gonna be a draft review. It might be a longer video. I'm gonna have game film playing for you guys while I'm talking about it. We're gonna go over the draft picks and undrafted free agents in one video, just because I wanted to make a long video so you guys could listen to me talk about football for 30 minutes. I really hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to put a lot of work in this. My girlfriend's going to have to edit a lot. So yeah, let's get right into it. So, with the 13th overall pick in the NFL draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Haason Reddick, middle linebacker from Temple University. I think the Cardinals are moving him to a middle linebacker because he did play a lot with his hand in the dirt. And, I think sometimes, he had 10 sacks. It's impressive, right? It's impressive to have 10 sacks. I don't think he's the best pass rusher in the world. I think the move to middle linebacker might be really good for him. I think it might be really good for our team. I think I'm in general going to really enjoy seeing if he can evolve into a really good starting middle linebacker, because honestly, I see him on the field. He's an outside linebacker, and he's making tackles that a middle linebacker should be making on his team. It's crazy to me. I think that this kid is going to be great in the NFL. He's a little undersized at 6'1", 253 pounds, but I think, he's sideline to sideline. He's fast as hell, boy. Oh, my Lord. Fast as hell. He was the fastest middle linebacker in the combine. I'm pretty sure. I'm counting out Jabril Peppers because he shouldn't have even been in that class. It's stupid. I think it should be really interesting to see what he can really evolve into. I think that, especially in our defense, I think the plays he can make here in Arizona will be extraordinary. If he can get some better hands too, get some picks, I think he'll be a great middle linebacker. I expect him to be a lot like Ryan Shazier, actually. Ryan Shazier, I love Ryan Shazier. Fuck the Steelers. But I love Ryan Shazier a lot. I think he's a great player, and I think that Hassan's going to be a lot like him, kind of undersized and fast, but makes a lot of tackles. I think that Hassan was probably the best linebacker in this class. And, people say, oh, Reuben Foster. You got Reuben Foster from Alabama. I don't care. I wanted my Haason Reddick from Temple, boy. I think his personality's better. I think his play style's better. I think he's better for the Cardinals defense overall than Reuben Foster would be. I'm over it. I cared for maybe a second when I saw Haason. I was like, oh, meh. Nah, that's cool. I really like this pick. I watched his tape. I watched a lot of his tape. I'm trying to make this video the best for you guys. And I think, one of his weaknesses is that, I think he might get caught up in some guards moving to the second level. I think that'll be a big problem for him because of his undersizedness. Kind of like Dion, but I think he's a little better than Dion for that position. I think he will be able to move a little better than Dion, especially because he played linebacker. He used to play safety and running back in high school. Getting back to high school, he only played 4 games his senior year, which is crazy to me. He broke his femur, and he ended up having to walk on to the Temple football team. I love that about this dude. I think walking on makes his story even better. A walk-on to the 13th overall pick in the NFL draft. I mean, could you imagine being that good at anything? It's like crazy, man. It's crazy, and I love it. I'm really interested to see this guy's storyline and where he ends up. I hope he ends up really good for us. I think he will. I'm really hopeful in Haason. And a little surprise for you guys. I thought I'd do. I got my friend Sssl3 from the Arizona Cardinals subreddit. He's a mod there, and he does a little bit of draft review stuff. And I thought I'd get some of his little opinions, little quick opinion from my boy Sssl3. What he said, Son Reddick. He said strength, pursuit, and weakness, undersized. And he added a little thing there. You guys can go ahead and read that up. And I'll also put a link to his draft hub in the description below so you can hear a little more of his opinions. And throughout these picks, we're actually going to have his little quick opinion on all these players. Now, if I had to give this draft pick a rating, I'd give it an A for the Cardinals. I think it was great. And honestly, I feel like this whole draft was really, really good. Okay, so let's get to the second pick. Budda Baker, safety out of Washington. If you remember the mock draft, your boy got a pick right. The second round pick, Budda Baker. We moved up for him. And I was a little upset. I was like, what are we moving up for? I thought we were moving up for Obi. Honestly, I thought we were like, oh, Obi Melifonwu. I thought we were moving up for Obi. When we moved up and we picked Budda, I was like, yes, I was right. And yes, because hell yeah, Budda Baker is good. Like, really good, ridiculously good. I love this pick. I think this pick is great for the Cardinals. I think that he's just like Tyrann. You watch his tape, you see, what the hell, this kid's like the Honey Badger. He's a little taller than the Honey Badger, and guess what? He wears 32. He wore 32 in college. 32! The coincidences are right there, man. You can't. Illuminati, boy. It's right there. I think this player is great. Great for the Cardinals and great for this whole organization. I think he's a great tackler. He's all over the field. His coverage skills a little lackluster. They could use some improvement, but I mean, that's always something you can work on. And I think he's a tackler. He's all over the field. He's a huge hitter. I think he makes some great hits sometimes. And I'm really interested. I'm really happy to see him, Hassan, and Honey Badger on the same field at the same time, making plays. I think that trio right there is going to be one of the best trios in the NFL. Cardinals defense is going to be one of the best defenses next year because of these two smart picks by Steve Keim. Steve Keim is one of the best GMs in the leagues. And I think he's great. I think this whole Budda Baker thing. And a little more about Budda Baker. I think that his hands, this is a weakness, his hands are bricks. It's like if someone mixed Ted Ginn with Early Doucette and cut his fingers off. He only had 7 picks throughout his career at UW. There's just some bad hands, man. I think he dropped 8 or something like that. And like last year alone, I don't know. They're really bad. I actually think that, they can get better, hopefully. But I don't think we'll need a safety to make that many interception plays. But I think that it'll be interesting to see what he can do. Little personal story. My head coach of my football team that I coach with now, actually coached Budda Baker back at a camp. So that's really cool. And another tidbit about Budda Baker, he can juggle. And a little story I heard that I really liked about him is that Doug Pearson took him up. Doug Pearson? Is it Doug Pearson? I think it's Doug Pearson. The UW head coach took them up to the Space Needle, the whole UW team. And he's like, all right, we're going to run the fire escape. So they ran the fire escape. First one up, Budda Baker. First one down, Budda Baker. Man, he went helping up. He got down, and it said that he turned around right away and went to help more of his teammates get down. He was cheering them on. This kid is a leader. And another reason to compare him to Honey Badger. He's a leader. He's loud. He's proud. He's going to help this team. I think he's a day 1 starter even. I don't know where he's going to fit in exactly, and if we're going to start him over Bethea or I'm not going to ever be able to say his name, Antoine. I think it'll just be really interesting to see what happens. I'm really excited. Honestly, you can hear it in my voice how excited I am to see Budda play. I'm a big Budda rockin' everywhere fan. And here's some more Sssl3. I agree with him. Like I said, big hitter. And, more secure tackler. The tackles aren't even there, even though I actually think the tackling is a big part of his game. His tackles, I did see that he gets juked a lot, and he doesn't wrap up as good as he should. You can see that in the Alabama game. The Alabama game for him wasn't that great. I think, though, he was one of the big playmakers against Alabama, but he was also one of the play losers around Alabama. Okay, and with the third pick, the Cardinals select Chad Williams, wide receiver. We traded down for this dude. I love it because it's a third-round pick, and it's a wide receiver from a school none of you have even heard from, Grambling State. Oh, yeah, I went to Grambling. Grambling? I love me some Grambling. Chad Williams. I think this guy can catch. I think he's a great catcher, and his QB, who is extremely not good at Grambling State, would just throw it up to him sometimes, and he'd come down with it. After watching some film, I noticed that was a big part of his game, that he can grab some damn passes real good. I think that he's up there. If a quarterback throws it to him, he grab that. It's his. I think that also he could be a good number 1 or 2. I think athletically he's also there. That he's fast. He's 6 foot. I don't know what else you can need from a wide receiver. I think he fits our offense great, because if Carson is running around, he's like, "Oh, I'm about to get sacked," or he's walking with his walker. He's like, "I'm about to get sacked." Chad's not open, but he's got a guy on him. He's a little ahead of him. If Carson just throw it up to him, his 6 foot tallish butt, go up and catch that thing, it's perfect, because he's a little faster too. He can get off the line pretty good. I do think against bigger corners, like if you put him up against Brandon Browner when he was good, like bigger corners, he can get slowed down really easily. It's just like a little tap. Sometimes I notice the corners don't really have to do much against him. Sometimes I don't think he's that great about getting off the line. Like I said, I think Carson's a great target. He played against a Pac-12 team, and I thought that was really nice. Even though it was the Wildcats, he did really good against them. I think I heard on Doug and Wolf too that they said that part of the reason he was drafted is because Steve Keim saw that he was on the Wildcats game and saw Chad Williams blowing him up, and he really liked the kid. And I really like him too. I think his attitude really needs to change. I'm not okay with it. There's a thing with guns, I think I heard, and him getting in a fight at the Senior Bowl, and, But I think he's got the attitude to play football. Like on the field, he's got it, but I think he's got a hot head sometimes. But that's okay. Sometimes you need a hot head guy, but I want him to be a little more calm. I don't know. That's contradicting. But I'm making sense to myself, but I don't know if that's going to make sense to everybody else. I like the hot-headedness, but I don't at the same time, because sometimes it's good because you get this attitude, but sometimes it's terrible for you. Sometimes it ruins plays because, you get angry, you push someone. But I think BA can really control that, and I think it's really great. I think it's really great. A really great place for him to go is here, and I think he'll be another person that contributes day one. These first 3 picks are contributors. I think they're great. I think really the first 5 picks are contributors, but here's SSL's opinion on him. Contested catches, like I said, route running. It's kind of what I meant by him being off sometimes, and I agree with him. This is one I really agree with, and I can thank you to SSL for sending in these things. You didn't have to, but it was really nice of you. I appreciate it. All right. In the 4th pick, the Arizona Cardinals select Dorian Johnson, guard. Honestly, I think this guy's great. I think that he fell to us, and it was great. I think that he's my favorite player right now because I actually asked his opinion on what it's like to be a Cardinal, and he replied. I asked every player, and he was the only one that replied. I appreciate that so much. And I hope he really becomes a starter here in Arizona. I think he can because of this current guard situation. He seems happy to be here. Okay. So Dorian Johnson is an interesting guy. I think that his liver issue, isn't that big of a deal. I think that's something that, he even thinks isn't that big of a deal. And I really think he could have been a second-round pick for any other team if this didn't happen to him, because his run blocking is really great. I think his passing blocking is kind of not that great. It's a little meh, he could work on it. I think it's good at sometimes and really bad at sometimes. I think that he could really need, some help and improvement. He has a hard time getting to the second level, I've noticed. He either goes too early or he goes too slow. He'll see it and he'll be like, yeah, I'll go. But he shouldn't sometimes because it gets his running back tackled in the backfield, or if he's too slow, his running back gets tackled in the second level. But I think overall he's a good run blocker sometimes. I think there's really no in between about his second level work. I think it really needs some help, but I think it can be improved on. Once he gets his guys, though, sometimes in run blocking and in pass blocking, it doesn't seem like they go anywhere. It seems like he sticks with them a lot of time, which is another problem with the second level thing, because when he does stick with them, he shouldn't stick with them sometimes. That's a problem. We'll see how he does, and I think that he could possibly be our starter at right guard this year if Bame doesn't step up. And, Bame looked good. So it's going to be an interesting battle between the two. And we'll see what goes on. Honestly, I'm interested in seeing. Especially because Bame's starting position is center. And here's Sssl3's opinion on Dorian. That was, I agree with him. Like I said, run blocking, good. Assignments, weakness. It seems to stick out to a lot of people. All right. And with the fifth pick, the Cardinals select TJ Logan, running back, Tar Heels. This guy's fast. Fastest running back at the combine. I think it was a 4.35, 4.34, something like that. He's speed. All down, up and down the board. Speed. Zoom, 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 zoom. I think that he's a great pick for the Cardinals. I think that his emotion is great. I think his attitude's great. I think he'll be a good backup for DJ. I think we will get some work out of him, and especially a kick returner and punt returner. I think he can really improve our game there because of how crazily speedy he is. Because last year was bad at kick and punt return. I don't know how it's so bad. Amos, I don't know really how at all it's that terrible, because why? Honestly, you don't see other teams struggle this badly in special teams, and I really think he can step it up. If we get him and JJ back there, we'd have two speedsters. We have two speedsters, and it'll be really interesting to see how good they are. And also, a little weakness of his is that he has little to no trucking ability. I see him run over people, but I don't see him ever getting over the person. You know what I mean? Like, they'll hold on to him and he'll fall forward. He's decent at falling forward, but once the guy's around him, he's not getting them off of him, at all. I think that he can't really break tackles whatsoever, and we'll see what he really can do for the Cardinals in the future. Kick returning, punt returning rise. I don't think he can be like a really effective running back because of how bad he is at getting through the tackles. But we can see, because once he's in the open field, I think he's great. He lines up wide receiver sometimes, so it makes him a hybrid person for the offense sometimes too. And I think that's really great. I think he can block pretty well for how bad he is. How bad he is at getting through tackle. I think, again, another year one starter. Not starter. When I say starter, I mean starter at kick and punt return. not running back. Obviously, we got DJ there, but I'm not too upset about him, Kerwin, and Elijah Penny being our backups. We also got an undrafted free agent who I'm excited to see what the hell he even does, because he's an athlete, who we'll talk about later in the video. And here's SSL's opinion on TJ Logan. Again, I agree with most of the stuff he said. Completely all of it, pretty much. Will Holden is our 5th pick, and he's a decent pass blocker. He gets kind of caught up sometimes with faster guys. Faster guys can get around him really easily, I've noticed. It's interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see if he can improve because of his short arms. I don't know how much he could improve. Also, I noticed about this is while watching his tape, I really don't like Nathan Peterman. Some people were rooting for the Cardinals to get him, and I don't like him. I don't like Nathan Peterman. I know it's not about this, but Will Holden was kind of a pick I was like, meh about. And these last 2 picks I really wasn't that excited about. But the first 5 I was really excited about. Will Holden, like I said, he's really a depth move. If he has to start this year, I'm going to be real nervous for Carson. We're really going to have to see what he can do. Because what I've seen from his Notre Dame days is just fast guys get around him so easily. Bigger, slower guys, he's good with. He can hold them. Holden can hold them with the best of them. And we will see. We'll really see. Honestly, I'm excited to see what he can do. But I think he's going to be a perennial backup. I am just really happy with the Cardinals getting some younger line. Because since we have, kind of an older line with Mike and Jared, but I think those 2 can really mentor this guy, and maybe one day he can be a starter. But I don't see it personally. Here's what SSL thought about him. Like I said, we have a lot of similar thoughts. Yeah. All right. And with the 6th and final pick, the Cardinals selected Rudy Ford from Auburn. And he'll play corner, which personally I'm not that excited about. And that's just because Rudy isn't that good of a coverage guy. I think he wasn't worth 2 sevens. And I'm not trying to be mean to the kid. I think he's good. I think he's decent. I think it's funny to look back at that tape of him saying, Leonard Fournette won't be that big of a problem. I'll link this down in the description, but Leonard Fournette won't be that big of a problem. Then he got ran over by Leonard Fournette like 3 times. And I'm really interested to see what he turns into for us, because at corner, I just can't see him being successful, really. He's a good tackler. I can see him still being a safety, but his coverage jobs are weak, and I really think we could have went and just got some more depth guys. And I guess he is a depth guy, but at this point, I really would have just preferred getting a normal corner rather than a safety moving to corner, and I just don't think he's that good. I think his tackling is good, and other than tackling, like I said, coverage, bleh. I just wish we, in the 6th round pick, with a 6th round pick, I don't expect much out of, but hell, maybe he'll prove me wrong and people will love him and I'll end up loving him. Now, we're going to get into the undrafted free agents, which is honestly one of my favorite parts of draft season. I love undrafted free agents. I'm always really interested in them. All right, let's get into it. First, we're going to start with Sojourn Shelton. The website I used and most websites I can look at only had some 2015 tape to watch, but I watched some highlights from this year too. I can say this guy has some real highs and some real lows, watching the highlights obviously, but also watching the one game film I had. He had some bad plays. His coverage skills are pretty locked down, but he gets beat at simple stuff sometimes. I'm really interested to see what he can turn into, because I think he might have a chance at a 53-man roster because of how shallow our corner room is. I think he could have a chance. I think a lot of people are hype about him, and watching his highlight tapes, I'm hype about him too. Watching his film, I was hype about him. He has some good hands, which I like in a corner. He has some good hands and some pretty lockdowns coverage skills, but he does get beat on simple stuff sometimes, like I said. We will see how Sojourn does, in my opinion. So, not my opinion. What does that even mean? Again, another play I'm really interested to see from this undrafted free agent class. With another undrafted free agent, we picked Trevor Knight, Texas A&M. I'm actually really interested to see what Trevor Knight can do. I think he's a really good quarterback back in 2015-14-ish when OU beat him in the Sugar Bowl. My dad really likes OU, so I have a kind of personal connection to this team to him. And it's funnily enough that he went to Texas A&M because he kind of reminds me of Johnny Manziel with a less hot of a head and less cocaine. I think that, he'll be a good third stringer. He has some arm strength, which Bruce likes, and he's kind of fast. I think he was the fastest quarterback at the combine. He's deceptively mobile or, white. He's faster than a lot of people think, and I think that he's a good pick for us. It's a good competition. Because in all my opinion, I think we can't have a backup of Drew Stanton anymore. I love his dance skills, but we need to upgrade, and Trevor Knight might just be that upgrade. He's actually kind of similar in his throwing, that he can short throw really well, but his deep accuracy is garbage sometimes. But I think Trevor Knight will definitely be an interesting person to watch, and I'll see how his preseason goes. We'll probably cut him, because that's usually what happens with preseason quarterbacks we pick up. We play them, and then we get all excited about them, and then Bruce cuts them. But I'm actually really interested to see what he can do. I want to see if he can beat Zach Dysart out for that third string role. Or, let's see what he can do. Because he's a winner. He's a proven winner, because that Alabama game, he beat Bama in a championship game, basically. He beat Bama. It's crazy to me. I love that. I want to see this winner succeed. I like him. I don't think there's anything wrong with Trevor Knight. It's, let's see what he can do. Honestly, I'm interested. I'm really interested to see what this guy can do. I'll be watching him, and I'll be updating about him in videos. Obviously, once preseason starts, and should be interesting to see that third string battle. All right, with the next pick. The next pickup the Cardinals made was James Summers, a running back, quarterback, wide receiver from UNC, I think, the Pirates. I think that should be really interesting because he is a hybrid player. I love hybrid players, especially in this offense that BA is running with Kerwin. If you guys know, he ran that Wildcat play like 15 times, and I'm really interested to see what he's going to do there, because he's a quarterback basically, but he also played running back, and from that Wildcat position, they're going to have to fear the throw if he's out there, because he can either run off with it, because he is a good running back. He breaks tackles. He's built big, and it's just really interesting to see. I need to stop saying interesting. I'm excited to see what he can do. It's going to be real nice to see what he can do, because I think getting him as an undrafted free agent was a steal. These three undrafted free agents were steals, including him. I think that he's going to be great for that Wildcat play. I'm excited to see that Wildcat play. And if Bruce wants to be a little tricky with it, have them toss it up to someone. Maybe they'll forget, this guy was a quarterback in college. And, he's an athlete. He has a really good following. People like him. I loved watching his highlight tapes. He was interesting, to say the least. I love watching him play. I'm really interested to see his versatility. Undrafted free agent Krishan Hogan. I think Krishan is great from what I've seen. I really couldn't find much tape on Krishan because he went to a school called Marian Knights. You've never heard of that school, neither have I. The tape I did find on him was very sparse. It was a lot of just highlights from different games, and such. But Krishan, had a game against a school that I saw with 6 receptions, 169s, and 2 touchdowns. He's 6'3". I love these tall wide receivers. And also, a lot like Chad Williams, a guy we drafted in the 3rd round, he can catch a lot of the stuff that comes to him. He plays almost like a tight end sometimes because he can just break tackles. He runs through guys a lot. And I'm just overall really interested. Oh my God, stop staying interested. I'm really looking forward to what he can do, seeing what he can do. It'll be nice. And the last person we're going to be talking about today is Ricky Seals-Jones, wide receiver / tight end. A guy that apparently got recruited in high school, and a school paid his dad 6 figures to come to a school. He ended up going to Texas A&M. Maybe it was one of those schools. I think he's a lot like a Feeney Moma, where he's a wide receiver, but they'll probably move him to tight end. I think he's really shifty once he gets the ball, but has a hard time getting open sometimes. He's 6'6", 6'7", I think. He's a great matchup for defenses, but it seems like he goes against people and then he's never open, it seems like. He can't get away from people. He's a hard time get away from people, and his route running ability isn't that great. So I think being a tight end might actually be really good for him, and I did say a couple days ago, or big body wide receiver, but I think tight end is probably the place he'll go. I think he's really shifty, and I like that shiftiness, and I want to see what he can do in preseason. Another guy, all these guys I really picked that just seem really interesting players, and I want to see them, and I hope you want to see them because I'm talking about them right now. Yeah. And you know what? That's it for the players we're going to be talking about today. So, that's overall draft review for the Cardinals. I think overall, we had a great draft. I give it a B+, somewhere around there. I think we're going to have a great year this year. And I don't want to, just base off the draft. Oh, draft review, we got some good players. There's still some holes on D-line and stuff, but we're going to see how it goes. I'm really interested to see how this goes. I really am. We'll see. We will see. What do you think about the draft? If you wanted me to touch on more stuff, go ahead and tell me in the comments. Share this with your friends because I really try hard making these videos, and this is something I really love doing. I really love the Cardinals. I really love the fan base. I love everything about doing this. My girlfriend edits these videos, and she needs a little more recognition. So go ahead and share, like, comment. I really want to know your guys' opinions on stuff. And I think next video is going to be a good one too. I have some stuff planned. And I'm really enjoying this, and thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Subscribe if you want to see more, and all that good stuff. Like if you liked, and if you didn't, I don't care. But yeah, thanks for watching. Enjoy your day. Tell me how you feel about my beer, and go Cards. And my enemies, and they gon' bleed to death. Wrestle underwater, and my chain on society. Now I'm gonna go Johnny Killer.